What's going on, guys? Welcome into a brand new video. This is something different. This is a YouTube exclusive, as I didn't really want to do this on Twitch. This is more YouTube, so you can see obviously look at my steering wheel, which means one thing. It's about Codemasters, and they've reached. I'm going to be looking to my left, so I'll be looking this way a lot. As I try to get the camera as close as I am to where I'm looking, so I can still look. But there's a Video Games Chronicle. I read this yesterday actually, and then watched Arava's video on it, and he was honestly about he's talking about microtransactions on NBA 2K series, but he forgot one slight detail, and I forgive him for this because he's not part of the community, whereas I am. So the title of this is actually going to be why this is a bad fit move for Codemasters, considering the fact that they have the worst game in history for 2K 2019 get released. I'll come on to that in a minute, but we'll go through this. Some of you already probably already know what the thing is, and expect to sell early next year. So Codemasters has reached a formal agreement with Take-Two in terms of its sale in a cash and shares offer, which values the UK-based, well, Birmingham-based Codemasters game firm around £750 million, which is just under, is about $918 million. A note to investors on Tuesday, the two companies said they anticipate the acquisition will complete by the first quarter of 2021, subject to shareholder approval in the upcoming general meeting. So assuming the general meeting, which is due to be announced, they'll probably say private. Once that gets agreed, the sale will go through. Following the deal's completions, Codemasters will run with Take-Two's 2K label. So me reading that already has eyebrows raising already. Under existing leaderships of CEO Frank Saget, I've butchered his name completely, CFO Rashid Varekia, I've definitely butchered that. I do apologise if you lot of codies are watching this video. I do apologise for butchering your names. I'm from Hull. My accent's awful. I've got accents from all over the UK in me, and I butcher them massively. And the rest of his senior management. Codemasters is a UK-based publisher racing games for Dare, F1, Grid, On the Rush. I've never even heard of that. And it's recently acquired rights for World Rally Championship, and acquired Slightly Mad, the developers of Project Cars series and Fast and Furious Crossroads. Take-Two is the owner of 2K and Rockstar labels, as well as its sports band 2K Sports, which publishes NBA 2K and PGA 2K. And sadly, it doesn't say WWE 2K in there. I wonder why. Anyway, we'll continue with this. Statement published on Tuesday, the Take-Two CEO said he believes Codemasters' racing game lineup will fit well in its roster of sports games. We are exceedingly pleased to announce this recommendation transaction with the board of Codemasters. It's renowned for its history in creating some of the industry's most beloved and commercially successful racing franchise, and we believe that their offerings will be highly complementary to our sports portfolio and enhance our organisation long-term growth. Moreover, we look forward to welcoming Codemasters, senior management and development teams into our Take-Two family, sharing our vision to deliver highest quality entertainment experiences and aim to be the most innovative, creative and efficient company in our industry. Codemasters put we are leading position in sports gaming. The board of Codemasters firmly believe the company will benefit from Take-Two's broad capabilities, which will help propel the long-term success of Codys. In recognition of this offer to shareholders, the board believes it is in the best interest of all stakeholders in the company. Take-Two offers reflects the great work and management team done since AIM in 2018 at 200p, and delivers AIM in 2018 at 200p, and delivers excellent return on shareholders in just 2.5 years. So the reason why I'm saying this potentially could be a bad idea, if you people know me, I'm part of the WWE wrestling community, the 2K franchise, and 2K themselves ditched Ukes, who's now working on the AEW game, which is potentially coming out next year. And 2K19 was one of the best games I've ever played. Legit, ever in my life. I played 2K18, that was a good game. 2K19 was great. And then 2K20 came out. Yeah, you can see why I've rolled myself there. This is the reason why I think this is a bad idea. If they don't let Codeys use their own engine, what they have now, because what happened is 2K ditched Ukes. They let them build 2K19, and they spent a year trying to understand their engine. The Ukes engine that they didn't have a fucking clue how to use. So when 2K20 came out, it was an absolute shambles. I paid 80 quid blind for 2K20, WWE 2K20. I went to Insomnia to try and find out see if I can get any more information. See if I can get anything. All 2K cared about was the Borderlands, celebrating Borderlands. When their game, they wouldn't let people try their game, WWE 2K20, at Insomnia. Yet they had promotional videos from Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, even Sheamus, I think, was used as well, if I remember rightly. But they didn't even give anything for it. They legit didn't give us, say, here you go, test this out, tell us what you think. I will go back and make sure it's one of the best games by the time it comes out at the end of November. I booked off the year before, the last week of October, up until Bonfire Night. So I was off all of Halloween. The game came out the week before. I got the game. Pre-ordered from Game, I think it was. They delivered it to my house. That night, I was at work. So what I did is I put the game in the console, let it install. My next day off, I think it was like a couple of days later. I think it was. And it kept crashing. You couldn't even upload any superstars. Even if you tried to download them, they crashed. Yeah, and it still, to this day, still crashes. People say, oh yeah, the game's actually got really better. It hasn't. There's still fundamental issues with that game. Still to this day. And then they bring out Battlegrounds. That game was not a good game. I've personally not played it yet, so I can't say from preference I hate it, but from watching it, it isn't a fun game. It didn't even last. I think as soon as it came out earlier this year, I think it lasted a month. I think it was on, everyone was playing it for a month, then went. They didn't play it. No one's playing it as far as I'm aware on Switch right now. Legit, no one's playing it on Switch, YouTube. I don't think anyone's playing it on Facebook Gaming. That's all I know. No one's playing it right now. And for me, that shows massively that the fact that people have been so pissed off with WWE 2K20, the fact some of them got refunds. I didn't get a refund. I stuck with it. And then the game decided I accidentally cancelled a sync. So therefore I couldn't play the game. So I had to uninstall it. I had to try and use the disc to install. Didn't work. So I had to go through CD keys. Yes, CD keys to buy an Xbox One version of the game. Just so I could play it. Yeah, I made sure. Because usually what I do is I trade in the game. If I was 2K18, I had 2K18. When I bought 2K19, I traded in 2K18. But because of all the nothing was coming out, I thought, right, okay, this is either going to be one of the worst games ever, or they pulled a Master Stroke out. They didn't. And that's got me worrying about this. The fact it says, following the deal's completion, Codemasters will run within Take-Two's 2K label. That line as itself, for me, means Codeys might not have full control of this game anymore. And for me personally, as much as I scored at F1 2020 because it keeps crashing on me constantly when I'm playing online or when I come off a game, I kind of know that's due to my graphics card. My graphics card's 3 years old. It's at the end of its cycle. And I need a new one. So I'm actually going to let Codeys off with that more than anything, even though we've gone back and forth. So they are aware I've had this issue. And I haven't played it in like 6 months. pretty much soon as the E-Pre series I was doing with Ryan L83 ended was when I went back to work around August the 15th. I went back to work. I hardly played F1 since. I played it the last few weeks just because I got the wheel. I've got this wheel next to me, as you can see in the camera shot. And I'm starting to use it now just so I could get into playing with steering wheels. I'm playing Forza Motorsport 7 as well, just so I could get used to playing with a wheel. So then when I get to playing online with this, I don't have to worry about it. And for me personally, when I see shit like that come up, lines like that, and I know I might be the odd one out saying stuff like this because of the fact that I have passion for the WWE games. And I'm hoping next year, whether it's 2K21, however they're going to call it, WWE 2K22, or whatever they're going to call that game, that this time they've used potentially to make their own engine, to make sure everything works, instead of putting stuff on, so the fact that the game doesn't work means that so much. I hope that it gets to a point where Codemasters, a couple of years down the line, Codemasters get kicked off. It said, no, you're not doing it anymore, we're restructuring you, and we're taking over the F1 game. And Codemasters say, you know what, stuff it, we're breaking off. Or they get the boot, whatever it is. I don't have a clue what happened with Ukes. And I wish Ukes the best with AEW making that AEW game. I've seen it. It looks cartoonistic, but it looks promising. It really does look promising, that game. And even though I don't watch AEW myself, I am contemplating buying that game when it comes out, just so I can test it. But I'm hoping, obviously, most of the stuff for 2K21, F1 2021's already in production. And I'm hoping that Take-Two are giving them a bit of money to help production. Because obviously there's a lot of maintenance still going on with F1 2020. Due to, I think there's a safety car glitch now. I don't have a clue if that's true or not, because I've never accessed it, and there's stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff going on with the game right now, but the game is playable. Whereas with 2K20, WWE 2K20, the game isn't playable. Unless you're building a tyres instant upload, you're not playing it. If you're playing it for like 20 minutes max, you can pretty much notice there's not going to be a crash in the game. And it's just it's a game that you just want to play and play and play and have fun with. But as soon as you try and have fun like that, literally, I'll do that again, crashes like that. And if you've seen some of my streams of the past on Twitch, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/StanleyMotorpod. We just hit 200 followers. I believe it was either yesterday or today, and I thank everyone who's followed me on there. Make sure you follow on there. This one is part of the Bottle Talks podcast, but it is separate with itself. That's why the logo is on there. But this is something I really need to get off my chest. Another thing that's coming up as part of the title beat is Ben Edwards from Channel 4 has decided to leave commentary at the end of the season. I was reading this yesterday just before I went to bed, and funny enough, I was doing Ben Edwards and David Couthard's voice in my head. And I don't know how in my head I was doing their voice. I don't know, but to lose someone like that is massive. Obviously, everyone knows Crofty apparently is the voice of F1, but Ben Edwards, he's no slouch with racing. He was the voice of the British Touring Cars when it was on ITV4 before Sky took over majority of the rights for F1. After the BBC decided to cut back on their contract and barely gave it to Sky. And obviously then Brundle went over, Crofty, Davidson, Pinkham, Ted from the 5 Live and BBC lot went over, and then Ben Edwards took over. And obviously on 5 Live they got, I can't remember his name now. He used to do it with Martin Brundle back in the day on ITV. I can't remember his name, but they brought him in. Obviously they were all integrated together until Channel 4 took over a couple of years ago. And then obviously Channel 4 is still going strong, and I've always rated Channel 4 when they've done it. I always have done, and I miss the fact that they don't have live races except British Grand Prix. That is just so annoying to me. But the fact that Ben Edwards is going, and I don't know who the guy they had on it. It's annoying now because like I know the name. It's like the name's there, but it isn't coming to my head unless I Google it, and I don't really want to Google it. But I hope that guy, whoever his name is, and if anyone puts it in the comments, I will thank you forever. I hope he moves to Channel 4 and accompanies David Couthard in the commentary box, because I did a predictions video back in the day when Channel 4 took over. I was actually at uni. I was home from uni when I did the prediction, the first part of the predictions, and then the second part I actually reacted within an hour of leaving uni. I was actually in uni when the announcement was made. And I saw the thing press release come through for Channel 4. And I literally slated Karun Chandler. And somehow there was a subreddit, there was actually a Reddit made of my YouTube video, which I've not actually talked about. So yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, I'd like to get anyone else's thoughts on it. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye.